What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be hitting up a ton of different thrift stores, and I might go to Burlington and Ross as well and just put it all in one video for you guys. So if you guys are interested in these type of videos, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright y'all, so first stop we are in Burlington, and I came across this pair of ACGs in the kids section, and they were asking 60 bucks for these, which is way too much money for these, so we're gonna pass on those. And next to that was this pair of Cruiser ones, and I sold this shoe in the past, but it took a really long time, and anytime I have bad experiences with certain models, I'll usually just learn from my mistakes, so we're not going to pick those up. Next to that was this pair of 270s, and 270s, I could find these in the outlet right now, brand new in box, maybe 35 bucks, or even cheaper, so we're going to pass on those. This was probably the better shoe that I came across in the kids section. Pair of Kyries in this all-star trophy colorway. I know these sell pretty well in the men's sizes, but for kids I'm gonna have to do some research on these, but definitely a really dope find nonetheless. Now here was a pair of, I believe these are called the Nike Air Riva Derchies. I sold this in a different colorway, and you know they take a while for these to sell. They're not as popular, so for 50 bucks I'm gonna have to pass. Alright, so finally a shoe that I'll probably be leaving here with. Here's a pair of Nike Air Max 1s with the golf bottom, and for only 30 bucks in a size 8 in women's, definitely gonna be scooping these up. Now next to that was this pair of Nike Air Huaraches, and maybe these are Huarache drifts, not exactly sure, but these were just in the wrong side of the store. I'm still in the women's section, and this was a men's size 6, so for 40 bucks I'm probably gonna pass on these, but drop a comment if you guys have been flipping those. Lately Huaraches just haven't been moving that well for me. Here was a pair of Kyries, and I seen this same exact model in the thrift. No, not in the thrift, in Ross for I think 37 bucks on clearance, and I passed on them then, so I'm definitely going to be passing on them again. And here was a pair of Nike Air Pegasus, and they were asking 50 bucks, and the biggest thing with this is that it was in a women's size 12. Size 12 is just a really tough size for me, so for that reason I'm going to pass. But if these were maybe 25 or 30 bucks, I may have took a chance on them, but just a little too much money. Now the Burlington's coming through with all these Kyries here today. They were asking 50 bucks for these in a size 11.5, and 11.5 used to be a tough size for me to move, but lately I've been selling so many size 11.5s that I still just pick them up, so I'm gonna have to do some research on these and see how well these are doing. So now we are in Buffalo Exchange, and I came across this jacket from G-Star Raw Denim, and you kind of got to use your better judgment with this brand because the comps are all over the place, but this jacket in particular, I think this one might do well since it does have this really unique design on the back. And they were asking 36 bucks, but I got a lot of store credit for this store. I got like 60 bucks in store credit because I usually always take some stuff to trade in anytime I come to shop here, so I might take a chance on this piece and hopefully it might sell pretty quickly. Next to that was this vest from the brand Shot, and they were asking 21 bucks for this, and surprisingly the comps weren't that strong on eBay. I've sold Shot leather jackets for like 100-200 bucks, but the leather vest doesn't do that well, and this one had like a really bad cigarette smell, so I was gonna probably pass on this anyway. But drop a comment if you guys still pick up stuff that has like weird smells and stuff like that. So next to that we came across this Iverson jersey, and I even forgot that my boy Iverson played for the Pistons. I'm a huge Iverson fan, and I even forgot, so that was just crazy. But next to that one again was this Super Bowl t-shirt from 1999. I guess you could call it vintage since it's, you know, 20 years at this point, but you know, I'm just getting old, because for me to consider anything from 1999 vintage, I'm clearly getting old. Next to that we came across this Tebow Jersey. Now this one was 20 bucks. I had to check the comps because I know Tebow still has like a cult following, but they were only selling for like 30 bucks, so we passed on that one. Alright, so this one was one of the better jersey finds. Came across this Nike Swingman. This one was the Golden State Warriors, and this one was Nick Van Exel, so definitely a really solid player, and this one was in really good condition. No stains, no tears, nothing. Really good condition, so I'm absolutely grabbing that one up. Now this is another brand for you guys to be on the lookout for sure. Opening Ceremony. This one, I think their flagship store is in Soho right now, so really solid brand. The only downside to this piece in particular was that it had a lot of stains, and I tend to like shy away from pieces that got a lot of flaws, mainly to avoid returns, but really solid brand to be on the lookout for. Alright y'all, so now we are in Goodwill, and you guys already know how I feel about Goodwill, but I was actually on my way to a completely different thrift store, and I saw this one on the way, so I figured I might as well stop. And I saw this pair of Vapormax 2019s for only 25 bucks, so I'm gonna absolutely pick those up. Here was this Nintendo Wii without any cords or anything, but even without the cords I should still be able to get 50 bucks for that one. But this one was in really good shape, so I'm gonna definitely take a chance on this. And next to that was this older Mac keyboard, and I love this keyboard. I'm actually using one right now. I usually pick these up and sell them for like 30 to 40 bucks depending on the condition. This one is kind of dirty, but I'm gonna just clean this one up with some rubbing alcohol and it should sell pretty fast. Next to that was this pair of Sass Shoes, and I used to pick up this brand all the time, but it doesn't sell that well for me anymore. So anytime I see it, I usually pass. So drop a comment if you guys are still picking that up, but for me, I'm just over it. Now, this was absolutely insane. Came across not one, but two pairs of Doc Martens, brand new in the box, and they were asking, I think, 60 bucks for these. So I'm definitely going to be using that Goodwill 20% off coupon on these, but these, even though they're so expensive, I still got to grab those up because you know those are going to flip for some good money. Now, here's the last thrift store of the day, and the first thing I saw was this couch for 850 bucks. So it already had me thinking this wasn't going to be worth my time today, but I still stuck around and had to check some stuff out. Now, came across this pair of Echo golf shoes, and they didn't have a price on this one, but if it's a good price, I'll pick them up. If they're like 5 or 6 bucks, I'll take a chance, but anything more than that, I'll probably leave those right there. Now, came across not one set of workout DVDs, but they had a bunch. Somebody probably donated their entire like collection of workout DVDs. The main thing is to just make sure that all the CDs are in there, because if it's missing one, it's going to damage the overall profit. But for the most part, the T25 and Insanity, those sell for like 20, and that P90X should sell for like 30, as long as they're all in the box. Now, here's the designer section of this thrift store, and I hate that thrift stores even have like boutique sections, but it is what it is. I spotted those Kobe's and I instantly had to check them out, and these were in amazing condition. Probably maybe worn once or twice, but I'll show you the bottom in a little bit. But man, these were in amazing condition, and I should definitely be able to flip these for some good profit. Honestly, I might hold on to these for a while because I love these. Alright y'all, so we are back in the crib, and as you guys can see, I grabbed up a ton of stuff in that video. I can easily say this was one of my best trips to the thrifts since I've been to Arizona, and it just inspired me to really hit up a bunch of these different thrift stores, and of course still try to go back into Goodwill, because as you guys seen earlier, that Goodwill find was huge. So we'll get into that a little later. But first off, one of the other Goodwill finds, this one was a pair of Vapormax 2019s. These are selling for just about 100 bucks. Brand new, they're selling for like 130, brand new in box, but these were in amazing condition, and I actually cleaned up these. I cleaned these up pretty well. I usually don't clean the bottom of shoes, but since the bottoms were just like minor dust, I wiped them down a little bit. So as you guys can see, these were in really good condition, so I should be able to fetch 100 bucks for these, and they were asking 25 in that Goodwill. And the good thing is they actually had the laces like attached to some of those other laces, so I just swapped out those like replacements and put in the original laces, and I just listed them for 100 bucks. So we'll see how well these do. Next up was this really dope Nike Swingman jersey, and this one was Nick Van Exel, and after checking the comps on these were selling easily for like 80 bucks. I've seen some people list them a little on the higher end, but in terms of previous sales, I've seen most of them sell for like 75 to 80, and since I picked this one up for 25, I figured selling for around 80 would be a decent amount of profit for me, and hopefully these do sell fast, especially since the Warriors are super popular. Here's a couple of the smaller finds. I only grabbed up the P90X, even though I came across the T25, and I also think it was Insanity. I actually have some of those CDs as well, but the T25 and the Insanity was missing a couple of CDs in there, so I ended up leaving those. But the P90X was actually complete, and after checking the comps, these were selling for about 30 bucks. And all of the CDs did have some minor scratches, but that shouldn't affect the value too badly, and it was only 5 bucks, so this was definitely an easy flip. Now, next up was this Nintendo Wii, and when I first saw it in the store, it didn't have the power cord or anything like that, but I actually have the power cord and the AV cables in the house. I just don't have an extra sensor bar, so I might wait until I find the sensor bar, because I usually do come across those in the thrifts. But for the most part, even if I was to just sell the Wii and the power bar, I should be able to at least get, you know, 50 to 60 bucks, even if it's incomplete. So I'll definitely wait a little while and see if I can find the extra sensor bar, but for the most part, these Nintendo Wiis have been selling really well for me. Ever since quarantine hit and, you know, the whole pandemic started, Nintendo Wiis, the value has increased at least by double. So definitely be on the lookout for these Nintendo Wiis. And I cleaned this up really quickly. It did have some minor scratches and stuff, some little stains here and there, but I was able to clean those off really easily, just using some rubbing alcohol. Next up, we got this denim jacket from the brand G-Star Raw Denim, and this one was 36 bucks, but I seen the comps, and I told you guys in the video, the comps are all over the place with some of these G-Star Raw Denim pieces. I've sold some jackets for like 100 bucks, and I've sold others for like, you know, 50 or 60. This one I'm gonna price on the higher end, especially since it does have this really dope studded design on the back, so that one should bring in some more value. So I'll price this for at least 100 bucks. And like I told you guys earlier too, I always try to keep some Buffalo Exchange store credit. Anytime I go into the store, I try to bring at least a couple pieces that was, you know, sitting around the house for a while or sitting in my inventory for a while and I wasn't able to flip. I usually would take it there, and they usually do take it. Like 60% of the time they would take it. Sometimes they pass and they front on me, but for the most part I usually get some good store credit for those pieces. So I'll list this one up, even though this isn't my size, it's not really my style, so I will definitely be listing this for at least 100 bucks, and hopefully this does sell in a decent amount of time. Next up, we got this pair of Kobe 10s in this Drill Sergeant colorway, and this colorway is really dope in my opinion, and they were asking 35 bucks for these, but as you guys can see in the video, I didn't show you guys the bottom, but these were in amazing condition. These were probably worn maybe once or twice, maybe never worn at all, because these were just in amazing condition, but it is what it is. These were selling for like 150 to 160 on eBay, and if it was a brand new in box, they were selling for like 220, 250. The prices was crazy, but it is what it is. I'll see how much I list these for, maybe around that 150 mark, but like I said, these size 10s run kind of big, so don't be surprised if I hold on to these for the long run. Alright y'all, so last but certainly not least, we picked up 2 pairs of Doc Martens, brand new in the box, and I picked up a size 8 and a size 9. So really solid pickup, even though they were priced a little too high, but you know how Goodwill is here in Arizona. They always, you know, they always head crack when it comes to the prices out here. So I paid up for these, but these should still sell for maybe 150 to 180. So definitely worth the investment, especially since they were brand new in box. So it is what it is. I'm definitely glad that I was able to go to that Goodwill, and I might start incorporating Goodwill in some of my trip to the thrifts a little more, because I found those Vapormax, I found that Wii. That Mac keyboard that I picked up, that one already sold for 35 bucks. So like 2 days after I listed it. So that was a really quick flip. So I might start going back to Goodwill a little more often. I was kind of on strike, but you know, nowadays, since I'm trying to restock on my inventory and come up on some more solid stuff, I might just incorporate Goodwill a little more in some of these trips to the thrifts. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you guys are interested in the new consistency tees in green, make sure you guys hit that first link in the description and use the coupon code consistency10 for 10% off your order. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.